light as a dragon's scale.
I'll give it to you.
And hard as a feather.
Yeah, Quinn. We're talking Endgame.
We're talking Endgame.
Endgame. Oh.
Let me get the visuals going here. We almost have the visuals. The visuals kind of sounds like a disease.
The visuals.
He's got the visuals. Okay, we're live.
Loki has the Tesseract.
And marker.
Ooh. Okay.
Welcome to another version of Red versus Blue.
Red, blue.
I'm red, Alex is blue.
Blue team's the best.
Blue Knight going down. Down, down, down.
Down, 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 down.
Infinitely down.
Down. Infinity War.
Yeah, and down the end.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame.
That's right, everybody.
Yeah. We saw it. We saw the movie last Wednesday. So 2 days ago. Which means...
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the movie, you should probably keep watching because we're going to talk about it. So it's going to be fine. We're going to give you everything you need to know. So you don't have to spend like $14 at the movie theater.
Yeah. No one wants to do that.
Yeah, we're saving you money.
By the way, Alex, proper mic technique, you got to hold it like a fancy pants guy like this. The pinky pinky has to extend to here.
Why?
Yes, that's just the best way to do it.
That's not.
Yeah, it is. That's what they taught me in jazz choir.
Really?
Uh-huh.
My pinky hurts. It's like a sword.
It's like a sword?
I know.
Oh.
Actually, it's the pinky It's the pinky that's the one that's actually holding the blade in. Pinky and ring finger.
Oh, really?
Your index finger doesn't do much.
They tell you that in kendo?
Yeah.
Nice. Alex Kendo Master.
Kinda. Not really.
Do you know who is a kendo master, though?
Quinn?
Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. You know, I totally called the scene with his family dying.
I think we're talking slow because there's a little bit of lag.
Okay.
So if you take an ear out, you can hear yourself talk better.
Okay, that sounds better.
Yeah. I think you're going. But
really, I did totally call the scene where Hawkeye's family dies.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty cool. That was like in the first 5 milliseconds. You're like, they're gone. Yeah. I was like, what? And I'm like, they're all gone. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd heard he was gonna become Ronin, so he couldn't have a family and do that.
Yeah, there had to be a reason. How'd you hear he's gonna be Ronin? Did you look up spoilers?
I did not look up spoilers for Endgame. I'd actually heard this back when they were filming Infinity War, but he didn't show up in Infinity War, so I was like, okay, he's going to have to show up in Endgame. Well, he was on the poster, so.
Okay. Right on. Yeah, I think that made him, like, worthwhile. Other than that, I thought he was, like, the most boring Avenger by far.
I mean, Hawkeye's a cool character, but yeah, they never really ever introduced him in the film. Like, I thought in the original Thor movie they were going to do that, and then he was just there for like 5 seconds with an arrow shooting at Thor. So nothing, like, they gave Black Widow a pretty good setup in Iron Man 2, but they didn't really do that with Hawkeye.
I feel like he's... there can only be so many really cool guys in those movies, and I think that actor always came off as like acting more important than he actually was to me. like, cause he felt like kind of non sequitur, like he just appeared and then he acted like he was the schniz and then, but he like wasn't that consequential, and he like, you know, he played a little bit too much of a serious guy, I think.
Yeah, which is odd because Jeremy Renner has been in some comedy films, you know.
I don't really like Jeremy Renner that much as an actor personally, but I haven't seen a ton of his movies. I didn't see like Bomb Squad or whatever he's in.
The
Hurt Locker. Yeah,
he was good in Hurt Locker.
Yeah, wasn't that like his big debut kind of?
Yeah, that was definitely a breakout for him. Yeah, I felt like it was definitely a sense that like they cast him for Hawkeye, but they never developed him until like this film, where it was like, oh, like I liked how they put up the plot thread from Age of Ultron, where he had a family and a farm, and he was like, I just want to be a farmer and my family. And then like they showed him doing that, so they kind of explained why he wasn't involved in the superhero game anymore.
Yeah, he's like, all I can do is shoot arrows, so I'm gonna start a family.
Oops. But yeah, like I wonder, that scene in Tokyo with him was just like so out there in the styling.
It's like Japanese Batman.
Pretty much. It was like Blade Runner. It's like, is this Blade Runner per se? Because it was just like so much darkness, neon, rain.
I was expecting it to be Harrison Ford under the. I was expecting him to go, "Hey, girl."
Yeah, dark.
Hey, kid.
I don't know, but yeah, it was like darkness, neon, rain, just oppression everywhere.
Yeah.
But he's got. But so.
Do you just want to chronologically go through the movie?
I don't know. What do you want to? What do you want to talk about? We could talk about like the ending. We could just go right at it.
Okay.
What are our thoughts about the movie? That's probably best.
I thought it was nice. I felt like Captain America was kind of like the sweetheart of the film.
Definitely the heart.
Yeah, he just kind of, I guess he deserved his. Yeah, he's like, he wasn't from that time period, so it was kind of nice for him to go back and live a life.
Yeah.
I was pissed he didn't say, I decided to take the long way home.
Then they
should have played Supertramp, Long Way Home.
End of the film.
Well, yeah, like, god damn it.
I mean, we could always use some more Supertramp.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that was a big, like, plot hole that he was able to spend so much time in the past.
Yeah, because what happened to... Well, I guess he didn't actually spend time with that girl. He got frozen.
Yeah.
So, either way, like... So, I don't think it's a plot hole, necessarily.
I guess. It's one of those, like... He died. Well, he got frozen, and then he got thawed out, and then it's almost like he went back. He lived for the Avengers, and then he went back to after he was frozen, so he get to hang out with her, and then he came back. But I mean, Shannon, his girl, didn't really recognize him. She never made any statements about this. That he knew her. Maybe that was all like she couldn't spoil Endgame either, but that would have been funny if it turns out she knew everything.
Oh, like knew how it all went down.
Yeah, and she couldn't spoil Endgame.
And then she kills Thanos. And then she gets the Infinity Stone.
Because she dies in, like, was it Winter's? No, it was... What movie did she die in? Was it Civil War?
I didn't see that one.
And I didn't. I haven't seen Civil War either.
And by didn't see, I mean tried to watch it twice. Fell asleep twice.
Ouch.
Sorry, Civil War. So I like the guy with the machine gun and Hawk dude.
Falcon.
I don't know who they are.
It's Falcon.
Yeah, the new Captain America.
Yeah. That happened in the comics, so
Yeah, that was a nice torch passed down.
Mm-hmm.
The guy kind of has a dumb beard, though.
Falcon?
Yeah, I'm not about his beard.
I didn't realize he had a beard.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a little bit like, I don't know. It makes it's like not in line with his jaw, and then it like goes around his mouth and stuff.
Am I supposed to be hearing you?
I pulled you out.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't really know too much about Falcon's beard, but I will say that was a throwback to the comics. And I guess talking more about your opinion of like Civil War. Now, one interesting thing about the movie is the fact I went back into all the other movies.
Yeah,
I did not see that coming at all.
that was kind of cool.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was well written. Having Thanos' head get chopped off in like the first 5 seconds, and then I was like, I looked at you. I was like, oh, credits.
It's over.
It's over now.
I don't know. I thought that was going to be... it was like Thanos was like the teaser, and then like Galactus would be the main bad guy. I could have swore I had read... I didn't see a spoiler, but I saw some reference to a Galactus in this one title, and I was like, oh boy, that's the twist. He's the bad guy. Even though in hindsight that doesn't make any sense, because Disney only got the rights to Galactus in film like a few months ago when they merged with the Fox studio, so...
I think that he wouldn't have carried a bunch of weight anyway.
Yeah.
Because Thanos has been in the movies for like, it would have been not exactly a Snoke, but he would have died, and then there's this like new
threat.
There's this new like wimpy, like bad guy you don't really know much about unless you've read all the comic books. For me. But
that's pretty fair.
I thought it was really cool how his daughter, the blue chick, was like the tie between the past and the present.
Yeah, even though I felt that was just almost too convenient. That like they brought Thanos back just so they can kill him more epically. I kind of like... I mean, this is my own personal opinion, but the whole him getting his head chopped off at the end, at the beginning. Yeah, at the beginning was just felt like a very fitting ending for his character. Almost.
It was an ending.
Yeah, but then they brought Thanos back from the past to kill him.
It's not the same Thanos, though.
I guess you're right, but it's still kind of like...
There's a reality in which Thanos dies in every way. And
Thanos?
Thanos, yeah. Would you say Thanos?
Yeah.
He's fanning out.
No, the theory of Ant-Man when he goes up Thanos' anus.
No. Yeah.
Thanos.
Paul Rudd, the hero of it all.
That was never going to happen. I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp was the secret to defeating Thanos.
Yep. I think Paul Rudd is... I really like Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
He's cool dude, good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just a humble, funny guy.
Yeah. His chemistry with Tony Stark is pretty good, and also Bruce Banner's character.
Yeah.
They had a lot of chemistry.
I like how I noticed in ENDGAME, they subverted like everybody's character.
Yeah. Well, did they really subvert? Okay, so let's go over this.
Okay, Iron Man, he settles down, has a family.
Yeah.
And then he really settles down at the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Iron Man's usually like the one guy who's like, oh, I don't care about anything, very cavalier. And this one, he's like, I have a family, I gotta get home. I'm really not sure about this.
In the comic books, is he as much of a main character?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, cause he's like the head of the Avengers.
Yeah, in the comic books, he's the original founding Avengers, and he's a big character in the comic books. I'm always surprised when I hear people say Iron Man was a B tier character when they made like the first movie, which I was like, I mean, he wasn't like the guy, but he's had a really long run in the comic books. He was the founding member of the Avengers. Like, he's not a B tier character even before the MCU started.
Yeah.
That's
But
why.
I guess just like be relative to like. It's because he's adaptable. Because like he's be relative like to the Hulk when he starts out, but then he can like build the Hulk armor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess what I meant is that like Iron Man. I think the reason why a lot of people didn't know much about him was because he hadn't had a lot of successful adaptations in the films before MCU. Like he'd been a very successful comic book character for decades.
Okay, moving on. We have Fat Thor.
Fat Thor, yeah, he's
Fat drunk Thor, which isn't a total subversion of his character. It's like a physical subversion, I guess, because he's like the hot guy and now he's like the not guy.
I mean, it's sort of like Thor in this movie is like running away, like he's a coward.
Yeah, he's,
and that's not again Thor's character idea.
Yeah.
Then Bruce Banner, the Hulk.
Bruce Banner's a tipster.
Yeah. And the Hulk is now like
the Hulk eats vegetarian and doesn't wear like he never wears shoes, but the fact that he wasn't wearing shoes made him look like more of a hippie.
Yeah, then wears shirts now.
Yeah, and he wears glasses and he's like mid-size.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have fits of rage and stuff.
Yeah, he's just so chill.
Yeah,
very stable, almost comedic. Explicitly comedic.
I can't wait for the memes that come out, like making fun of when Doctor Strange like gives Iron Man the signal.
Like what was it?
Just the finger. He's like, raises his finger. I think there's gonna be some hot memes around that.
Okay.
I think I can make some.
Yeah, so they subverted him. Did they really subvert Ant-Man's character a lot, though? I felt he was playing pretty straight.
No, he didn't. Because I don't think he had... We're not really tired of his character, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess the one thing was just how it was all subtle. The whole 5-year time gap allowed him to age up his daughter.
Yeah.
So she'll become a superhero in the next film.
I think they subverted it in that he was really pivotal.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, he was just
without him, nothing would have happened.
Yeah, before that, he wasn't that consequential.
Mm-hmm. Black Widow subverted, kinda? Maybe guess that she was a team player now? She was the leader of the Avengers, kinda, after...
Yeah. I don't know if she really did. They may also made her, like...
Yeah, do you think she got fridged?
Fridged?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's still fridging. It's an old
trope. Fringed?
No, fridged. It relates to the idea that female characters in these comic books, particularly superhero comic books, but other forms of speculative media that are targeted predominantly to a male audience, that the female characters have to die so the male character can get serious or improve or get what he wants.
I didn't feel like that was like an atypical thing.
No, I mean
the
whole thing relates to like this one comic book arc in like Green Lantern, when Green Lantern comes home and finds his girlfriend murdered and her body's in his fridge. He's like, it's just kind of like
the snowman.
Yeah, it's like random act of violence against a character who had been like kind of important, but and it's like he gets darker and more edgier after this, serious about.
No, I don't think that she was fridged. I think she, he had something to live for. They both, it wasn't like there was no friction. Like they both were like trying to kill themselves.
Yeah, that was a really interesting scene.
My guess was that she would die.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought so too. It was just because he had a family. But that was one more thing though, is a sort of that there was a scene. I mean, we don't have to get too deep into feminist criticism of this, but I knew a lady who was really mad about the Avengers Age of Ultron because part of Black Widow's character arc was that she was like infertile, so she didn't have any kids, so she didn't think she had a lot of worth as a female because she couldn't be a mother. And then one lady was like really mad about that whole arc because that's just repeating a bunch of stereotypes about women. I mean, I think part of the point of the arc was supposed to grow from it, but still, it was like because she didn't have any kids, can't have any kids. She's a more disposable figure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not brave enough to speak on that because it would just make people mad. You know.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, this is a real question that do people. I mean, it's one of those things like the hierarchy is like children are more important. So people who don't have kids or can't have kids, are they really important?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's more of a sociological, ethical thing about society and how human psychology and cultures.
I mean, that's
works.
like a meta. You can view it on different levels. One of them is super meta, and like you can think about how the writers wrote it, or you can think about how the characters performed it. And I think the way it was performed, which is the way like kids perceive it, like just surface level, was that they both were willing to die for one another, and you know, the more skilled one prevailed, I suppose.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, or you know, timing, accident, whatever. They're both pretty even. Who knows? You know,
I definitely think that was how they supposed to intend it.
If it was frictionless, then it would have been like, that was kind of weird, but it wasn't. They were both pissed, you know.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like the end justifies the means. It's like at the end, Hawkeye lives. It's a sort of different way of viewing it. It's like at the end, Hawkeye lives, and it's like, is that supposed to be? Is that what's important, or it's the means? Like, you know, the skill that. At the end, Hawkeye lives because Black Widow was more skilled. Or, you know, at the end, Hawkeye lives because he's the one who has a family, and those people should be surviving. He's got kids at home.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just America, family-oriented America.
I mean, no orphans.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Which is then again, I mean, this is once again, we can talk a lot about, because that's at the end of Endgame, Iron Man sacrifices himself.
There you go.
To defeat Thanos.
There's your tit for tat on it.
Yeah, and that's sort of, once again, like, it's an interesting dichotomy to that scene where both Black Widow and Hawkeye both try and sacrifice themselves so they can defeat Thanos as well.
I thought one of the most badass scenes was when Gwyneth Paltrow appears in a suit.
Yeah, I wish there was more build up to that. Again, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, she could have had her own little arc.
Yeah, I wanted her to have her own arc.
I think it was a really nice surprise, which is, I think, maybe you feeling that way was a testament of like to how cool it was. You're like, right on.
Well, I mean, I knew she was going to appear in a suit. They're like, oh, she's going to suit up in this movie. That's another spoiler that I knew that I didn't talk about. But I was like, okay, where's her arc? What's going to happen? And then nothing happened. She just kind of showed up. And I mean, it's a long movie, and they didn't have enough time. But again, it was like,
I kind of wanted Tony Stark to tell his dad that he was Tony Stark.
Yeah. That would have been nice, but
that would have opened a huge can of worms. They would have had to like fill up, though. I think, or patch
maybe.
Up.
I mean, yeah, it'd be a little weird.
I think his dad's far too curious to just be like, "Oh, you're my son? Okay, bye." You know, he would have, really tried to figure out how to do time travel and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, these Pym particle thingies.
Yeah.
The secret. I did like the really young Kirk Douglas. In the flashback scene, the guy.
Who's Kirk Douglas?
The guy who plays.
Oh,
Hank Pym.
yeah.
They made him look really young in the flashback.
Is his name Kurt?
Well,
Matthew Douglas?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, Douglas. Last name Douglas.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Kurt.
His father was a famous actor. He's still alive. He's like 102.
Yeah.
Maybe he's Kirk Douglas. But yeah, it is Michael Douglas. It is Michael Douglas. But they made him look so young in that one.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, that was cool.
They really aged him down to.
Was that lady in the elevator with Captain America? Like, I don't remember her being. Was she in like one of the Captain America movies?
I don't believe so. She's the. I mean, she's an actress from Community.
Yeah, I felt like she was.
It was just more of
I
a
feel
cameo.
like she was a reference, though.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, well, you could be right, because what about the dude from The Hangover, the Asian guy?
Yeah.
You know, he's like the video camera guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think, is he in any other Avenger
No,
movie?
I don't think so. Ken Jeong? No.
Really? He just wanted to be in it? Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Do you think other people will play the Marvel creators' cameos?
Stan Lee?
Yeah, do you think they'll like do animated Stan Lees?
I don't think so. I think this is the last one. I was a little disappointed for this one. It was just kind of like, felt they were going to do something more heartfelt because he had passed away earlier this year.
That's probably all they had.
Yeah.
They probably had something else planned.
I heard that they had kind of planned on phasing him out because he was getting old, and I think he was fine with that.
Yeah.
But it would still would have been a little nice just to see something more heartfelt. Because, I mean, his cameo in, like, the first Avengers was really good. And this one was just kind of like, okay.
I liked his cameo in Ragnarok.
What was he in Ragnarok again?
He gave Thor a haircut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still really like his original Avengers cameo. I know. I think someone made a ranking of this and had him very low, but I was like, that was just so funny. Just like superheroes in New York City, no way. And it's like his entire career had been about making superheroes in New York City.
That's pretty good. I think one character that is kind of like on the fans' shit list is Star-Lord.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me just thinking about like how I view Star-Lord versus how I view Thor. And like I thought Thor was dumb after his first two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Then after Ragnarok and these last and Endgame and Infinity War, I think Thor's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the first Guardians of the Galaxy was really good. The second one was all right.
Yeah.
Not that great.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And then
I
then he kind of screwed everything up
in Infinity War.
Yeah. So and then like he didn't have a huge role in Endgame.
This one. Yeah, I know. It seems like that's really interesting. Just the way the character arcs go. Because the one thing I read about and it was interesting. They actually went back to Dark World, the movie no one ever talks about because no one really liked it.
He went back to it?
In his flashback scene when he goes back in time.
Oh, is that...
He goes into the Dark World.
Yeah.
And no one, like even you couldn't even place that because everyone forgets about that movie because it wasn't very good.
It's pretty bad.
But then it was like a very pivotal scene because he has to deal with the death of his mother and how he hadn't really actually processed the grief. I mean, it's possibly, yeah. That's why they get the movie. But, like, his mom died in the movie, and he hadn't been able to process the grief of his mom dying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they also, I think, subverted Captain America's, not necessarily stoicism, but, like, one-dimensionality.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of was able to laugh at himself.
Mm-hmm.
They literally made him, like, self-aware.
Yeah. I also liked when he said "Hail Hydra" in the...
That
was a reference to an infamous comic book event from a few years ago when they tried to make Captain America a secret Hydra agent and everybody like freaked out because it just broke all canon.
Yeah,
and I think there's definitely a sense in this film he was maybe a bit more ruthless. Like, not that he was like dishonorable, but I was like, that was one of those things like you'd never think Captain America to do that, even if it was.
Yeah, I just got a little bit of goosebumps actually thinking about that. I think it was badass when he was fighting, when he got the hammer.
Yeah,
that was some good shit. And then when he battled Thanos,
mm-hmm.
and, like Thanos ripped his shield apart.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, he's gonna die. He's so gonna die.
Yeah.
But then like everybody and their grandma shows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is the first Avenger. That was a good one. I guess I just want to think more about like Tony Stark because it just seemed like he was going to die the entire film.
I think they could have totally like made him come back through some sort of some sort of time loophole or something, because like his will to his daughter or whatever, or his will to when he's sitting in the chair talking to him, he's like, oh, what am I worried about? Everything's gonna work out exactly as it should. Like, I felt like that was like, that means he's gonna come back.
I don't know, but yeah, then again,
they had to have had alternative endings for that movie.
Maybe.
I think they had to, and then they had to like choose. They had to like vote on it or something.
Okay, but I mean, can superheroes have a happy family life?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
I mean, I'm sort of being.
That's greedy of you to say.
They're
not your entertainment. Pets.
I'm being contrarian, and I'm also quoting infamous DC Comics published editor. Like, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot more, because ever since I read that domesticity article about that didn't have to do with superheroes, but just trying to apply it more to superhero stories. Like, basically, the long story short, Batwoman was going to get married in 2013, and it was like supposed to be the culmination of her character arc, getting married, and then basically the editor of DC Comics at the time said no marriage, and was like put a kibosh on the storyline and had the characters break up, and the writer left, and the guy literally defended his decision by saying superheroes can't have happy personal lives. The whole point of being a superhero is that you're sacrificing your personal life for the sake of others.
They could have ridden it for a while, ridden it out, right? They could have rode the wave, surfed the marriage wave, and then done away with her husband in a crazy...
Yeah, I mean, she's gay.
Oh, is she? I didn't know that.
No, don't worry.
Her wife, her mate, her partner.
Yeah, it's just...
Pardon my old school.
And then, there was... And then, did you ever hear about the Batman-Catwoman infamous marriage?
Batwoman-Catwoman?
No, Catwoman-Batman infamous marriage of last year.
Batman-Batwoman?
I don't know. Apparently, Catwoman and Batman were going to get married, and everybody thought it was going to be like an apology for what happened with Batwoman a few years ago, and then it didn't happen. And then it was again like, why aren't you allowing anybody in the comics to get married and actually have a happy family life?
Bless me.
Bless me.
Yep.
I do think that's a fair question about how entertainment, like, are we almost afraid of having a happy family life?
On Snapchat news, I saw that Jared Leto might play the Joker again.
Oh, I'm excited. Not that I've ever seen Suicide Squad or anything.
Did you see it?
No.
Really?
I haven't. I never really thought it looked interesting.
It was the best movie I've ever seen.
Really? I heard... I had this one guy, actually, I think unironically said, if you didn't like Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad's perfect. It's restored my confidence in DC.
Really? Some guy said that?
On Facebook. And I was like, I don't know if I trust your aesthetic opinions anymore.
The bad guy was like the CGI ghost tornado.
Mm-hmm.
It was really bad.
It didn't look good.
I think if Jared Leto was in it more, it would have been good. But
maybe
there was a chance.
The problem with DC is like explicitly exemplified by the Suicide Squad movies that they wanted everybody, but they didn't have the effort and time to put in like Marvel actually gave almost everybody a movie before then.
Yeah,
it's like there should have been a Joker movie before then. There probably should have been a Joker movie, and that should have let in to Suicide Squad. There should have been a Batman movie before then. There should have been maybe even a Deadshot movie before.
It was pretty dumb not to, like, why would you want to compete at the same time as Marvel? Why not, like, start your small, like, DC universe? Like,
they've had a very successful television universe.
DC has?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Arrow? The Flash?
I haven't seen any of those.
I was a big fan of that, but I fell out in college because I couldn't watch every night. It was too busy. I was too busy.
Yeah. I also think DC works better on an individual basis. with like cameos and guests from time to time. Like, because I haven't seen a movie where they all work together well. Personally,
we gotta show you some movies.
Name one.
Okay, have you ever seen Batman and Superman: Public Enemies?
Is that a cartoon or a movie?
It's a cartoon.
No, I'm talking about live action.
Okay. There's a lot of good cartoons.
Of course, there are cartoons that work.
There's a lot of good cartoon DC movies.
Of course, but I'm talking about live action.
Well, that's just because they haven't really tried.
Yeah, they have. I think they're they work better individual live action.
Well,
or at least they have.
If they work good in the cartoon, they should work live action.
Yeah, okay. Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. Yeah, okay. Death Note live action. Yeah, okay. Dragon Ball Z live action.
But Clint, you're being somewhat facetious here.
To name a few.
But I mean, the Avengers have worked good in cartoons, and they'll work good live action.
That doesn't mean everyone will, man.
But that doesn't mean it's impossible.
The Avengers are way softer than DC. DC's pretty dark.
That's not really.
At least in the cinematic world, the way they've been presented.
Yes, which is somewhat ironic considering that Marvel had a long time reputation as being the more edgier comic book medium.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when Marvel was founded kind of in response to DC, particularly in the 50s and 60s, and the Marvel heroes were actually like super angsty and like squabbled over, like rent money and their own personal insecurities versus like DC characters who were all like stoic and never had real person problems.
Well,
and then even into like the 80s, like I'm not saying DC didn't get dark, but Marvel was like the first superhero to like actually have a lot of like, particularly in the 80s and 90s, Marvel like got rid of a lot of secret identities and tried to evolve the superhero comic book versus DC, which stayed more traditional in that way.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat ironic that the DC movies were extremely gray and dark, and versus Marvel movies, which were very lighthearted and
it's like
entertainment.
It's like the switching sides of the Republican and Democrat Party.
Pretty much.
The cycle.
Yeah, I bet. I don't know. I heard Shazam was good. I haven't seen it, but I think we might be getting ready for a tone flip.
He looks a little bit too
kiddie. I heard it was
shiny.
pretty kid friendly, but I mean that's probably fair for the type of character Shazam is.
Is he Marvel?
No, he's DC.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I don't know. My mom hated Aquaman. I haven't seen Aquaman either. It didn't look very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked Aquaman a little bit in Batman versus Superman or Justice League.
It was Justice League. He was one of the few characters. There was Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Holy cow, that's a bad title in hindsight. Wonder Woman, The Justice League.
The Justice League was the last one.
I mean Aquaman and then Shazam.
Yeah. Did you see Justice League?
We saw Justice League together in the theaters, Quinn.
Yeah.
Remember?
No, but I think it was so bad. I think I erased it from my memory.
It was pretty bad.
That's when the
CGI.
There's so much CGI.
Remember the Chernobyl nuclear?
Yeah. I remember the movie. I just don't remember going to see it. I thought I watched it with my dad.
Oh, you watched it with me in the theater.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not offended. It's just funny how like you forgot. And
did we go with Caleb?
No, we went to Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice with Caleb.
Oh, okay.
I took him there because I owed him a movie.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go on record and say I don't think that movie was as bad as some people said.
All right. Let it be known that on the record, Alex said that movie wasn't as bad.
Okay.
Nope. Stand by your claims.
No, I do. I feel like if you don't agree with me, do you disagree with me?
I hated it.
Ouch. You were pretty. I remember you being pretty complimentary of it.
No.
After the bus ride home, the cluster. Okay.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. My memories now of it are not fond, but let's let the past be the past. And is there anything else in Avengers we want to talk about?
Superman. No. I mean, I'm okay. You know, Loki got the Tesseract in the past. I wonder how that's going to affect anything.
They didn't get it back from him.
No, they had to go back to the 70s.
Do you think they're not going to continue the storyline though?
Probably not.
Like, because he's not in the movies anymore.
I mean, he's in a TV show on Disney Plus starting this fall, maybe.
Okay.
So, we'll see what happens there. I mean, yeah, any superhero you wish had more screen time in Infinity War? I mean, Endgame.
I didn't see Spider-Man: Homecoming, but maybe if I did, I would have thought that Spider-Man deserved a little more. But I mean, he was dead for half of it. So
a lot of the snapped heroes just kind of showed up with as more of a kind of entourage at the end. Yeah, with some cameos.
I want to say Drax, but Drax isn't like.
Yeah,
at most he should would have just probably said a one-liner, Colt stoic joke.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the Endgame was more about giving the OG Avengers a sort of last ride,
which was nice. At first, when Black Panther came back through the thing, I was like, "Wait, he died." I was like, "Oh wait, they snapped the gauntlet." Yeah, like I totally forgot. I was like, "How did he not die? He died." So my mind spent a minute trying to figure that out, and I was like, "Oh wait, okay, everyone's alive now."
Well, not Vision. Still surprised they killed him off for good. He seemed like he had more potential.
I think the most metal part was when Thanos fires missiles at their house. I totally thought Ant-Man was dead.
Oh, when was this again?
Right at the moment of relief, and then they fire missiles and.
Oh, at the car, you mean?
When Thanos comes through the portal and he's hovering above.
At the Avenger base.
Yeah, then he blows him up. I totally thought Ant-Man was dead.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of thought Hawkeye was gonna die.
I thought they were most of them were dead, and then it was just gonna be Fat Thor versus Thanos.
That would have been interesting. But they all survived, in a way. Gave War Machine a nice cameo.
War Machine?
You mean Don Cheadle's character?
Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle was in Avengers Endgame.
Who's Don Cheadle?
The guy in the African-American man in the silver suit.
Oh, yeah. He's been in it throughout.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice.
But wasn't he played by
Terrence Howard Jr.
Yeah, Terrence Howard
in the first film.
Yeah, so
the first
I've had a hard time connecting to that character because of that.
Yeah, it's interesting they didn't keep Terrence Howard Jr. throughout the whole.
Didn't he not want to do it or something?
I think so, which is odd. I shouldn't say this, but this was I kind of forgot about him. I wish they gave a better storyline. I know Iron Man.
I think Terrence Howard leaving kind of
deflated it.
Yeah, there's nothing left to build on there.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with. Where do you think Endgame ranks in all of the Marvel movies up to this point? Is it the best? Is it the worst? So I think it's probably one of the best. I don't know if it's the best, but it might become the best.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I'd say Iron Man 1 was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers was really good.
Yeah.
The first one. I liked the Captain American one.
Yeah.
The first one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Thor Ragnarok was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I liked Endgame way better than Infinity War.
Really? I actually liked Infinity War a decent bit. No, I do think I liked Endgame as a whole more than Infinity War. Infinity War had some bits and pieces I didn't like. I don't think there were that many pieces of Endgame that I actually disliked at all.
Infinity War just kind of felt like it was like they're collecting the Dragon Balls, and then they're gonna go. He's got to make his wish, and it was just kind of it felt systematic and like kind of. I also thought the war was very boring. Personally, I thought what I did like Thor forging his hammer and like.
I mean, sword, sphere,
Groot axe.
Yeah, axe.
Yeah.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, that was cool. But,
Can't have. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think I have similar opinions. I really liked the first Avengers film. I don't know if I liked it as much if I watched it now, but I think at the time it was just so cool to see. I really liked how Endgame felt like they tied it all together. One last, what's the worst Marvel movie you've seen?
probably Civil War.
Civil War? You did not like Civil War.
I just fell asleep, so I don't even know what happened, but it could have been good. And then also the two first Thors were terrible for me.
I thought the first four was good.
The second one was worse than the first.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is
Pretty bad.
pretty bad.
We should talk more about that one later. Because I feel like we're missing. Because I mean, it's interesting how Guardians of the Galaxy 2, is supposed to progress Star Wars character, but instead it feels like he's been devolving.
Yeah, like I thought I feel like I want him to unlock more of his god powers or something.
Well, that was the point of like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 just ended up being such a Star-Lord film. It was like Star-Lord confronts father figure.
Yeah.
And you were like, usually that's where the growth occurs. But
the stakes were way too high. It was ridiculous. It was unreal. And I realize it's an unreal movie, but it was just like outlandishly dumb.
A god.
I killed your father, and I killed your mom because I'm cynical and I don't care.
And I'm a god.
And
I'm literally a god.
Let's have a god fight. It's like, what?
Yeah, my father's an evil god.
Yeah.
Not just any, which kind of comparison to the character is just like this dude. And then his real father dies, but that doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
He's not super affected. Didn't change a lot.
If Captain Ron was my father, I'd have some issues too.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Iron Man 3 to me was the worst.
I hated that one too. I didn't really like it. Yeah, because it was just like it felt weenie. Felt like a wussy. Like I'm not gonna be Iron Man anymore. Yeah. And he was afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people say Iron Man 2 was the worst. I haven't seen that one in a while, but I remember seeing it and being okay with it.
Yeah, same.
A lot of people are really mad at Mickey Rourke's acting as like Whiplash, but
I liked Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke's a good actor.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think Iron Man 3 was bad, and like they blew the Mandarin.
I think Mickey Rourke went and like talked to like Russian prisoners and stuff like that, or Eastern European prisoners to like know what they were like and stuff like that.
Yeah, it all depends. They really blew the Mandarin. Like that was just so weird.
His character?
Yeah, in Iron Man 3.
It's not. Is it? Oh,
the Mandarin. Like the whole movie focused on like this terrorist organization called the Mandarin.
Did they get a hold of some of his technology?
It was almost set up by like the big government, which is like kind of interesting in a way, but it felt like they were trying to deconstruct a lot without like actually saying much.
It felt like Quantum of Solace for me. It was just kind of dumb. Yeah,
it was. They tried to be serious, and then they tried to make a statement, but they didn't do a lot. And Tony was,
lots of introspective sadness,
and
it was just kind of like,
it just was a bad. Like, it was disappointing because Iron Man's got some interesting lore, kind of, but it didn't work. The Mandarin's a great villain, but wasn't. It was just Ben Kingsley as him instead. It didn't go well. Didn't go well at all.
On the topic of dumb beards, Doctor Strange also has a stupid beard.
Really? I like that beard.
I think it's dumb.
Okay.
Perhaps it's a superhero beard.
I don't know. I also didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp. That one was just...
The movie?
Yeah. It was just not very
yeah.
good.
I didn't see it. She's pretty though. What's she in? She's in Lost and
I don't remember too much about Evangeline
she's in The
Lilly.
Hobbit.
Yeah, I guess Ant-Man and the Wasp just didn't really connect, which is weird because I liked the first Ant-Man a lot.
It's goofy. The Ant-Man is such a goofy character.
He's a good character.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like the miscellaneous hero. Like, what do we need this little tiny weird problem solved? Literally.
I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a cool character, though. I mean,
Where do you think they got the taco that the ship spilled? That was Paul Rudd's taco. It looked like a Taco Bell taco.
yeah, there's probably like a bar, a restaurant in the Avengers headquarters.
That looked like a lame taco. Hard shell with like dry ground beef and like not even melted cheese.
Yeah,
That is a lame taco.
name taco. Taco.
Okay, this name of this episode is Quinn and Alex debate where Paul Rudd got his taco in Endgame.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying Avengers headquarters. You're saying Taco Bell?
It looked like a taco. I grew up next to a Taco Bell, so it's
Taco Bell. Live mas.
Viva Mas. Vivo. Viver?
Viver.
Who knows? All right.
It's been a good discussion
This is Quinn and Alex signing off.
for now.
Ta-ta for now.
Like and subscribe. Follow. Support us. Not really. We don't have a Patreon.
Pay our tuition.